Hello everyone, I am Donna Sonat from 3rd BSc Zoology. My seminar topic is on disruption in ecosystem. An ecosystem is said to be balanced when its biotic and abiotic factors interact and exist stably. Ecological disruptions can be caused by natural as well as man-made factors. Natural processes such as volcanoes, wildfire, earthquake, tsunami, floods, etc. can cause disruption of ecosystem, where population growth and subsequent developmental processes such as industrialization and urbanization have augmented the process of ecosystem disruption by anthropogenic influence. Now, let's discuss about natural factors. In any ecosystem, natural disturbances are events that generally remove biomass, thus freeing the habitat and resources for other organisms and eventually helping in ecosystem renewal or replacement. The ecological impact of a disturbance will vary according to its frequency and intensity. Minor disturbances are means to allow flow of nutrients and energy through ecosystem and can be considered as a driving force for evolution. But major disruptive events can have a long-term negative effects on ecosystem. Natural ecological disruptions are mainly caused by events related to geological or climatic conditions. Examples include flood, drought, earthquake, cyclone, tsunamis, and volcanic eruption. Now, let's take a detailed look on these events. First, flood. Flood is the most frequent type of natural disaster and it occurs when an overflow of water submerges the land that is generally dry. Major reasons for flood are heavy rainfall within a short time, rapid snowmelt, cyclonic cloudburst, or tsunami in coastal areas. The nature of floods and its impact on ecosystems, life, and livelihood have undergone significant changes due to anthropogenic interventions on the free flowing rivers and encroachments on riverbanks. Now, let's take a look on the three major types of floods. First, river floods or plain floods. These are generally occur seasonally during the rainy season caused by consistent rains or due to the snow melting. Second, flash floods. These are caused by rapid and excessive rainfall that makes the rivers and streams to overflow and the lowlands get submerged within a short period of time. And last, coastal floods. These are caused by storm surge accompanying tropical cyclones or tsunami. These are often caused by intense offshore low pressure accompanied by heavy downpour. Let's take a look on impact of flood on ecosystem. The most common damaging effects of floods are easily visible as significant destruction to property and infrastructure and loss of lives. But the adverse effects it has on ecosystem are less recognized since they are less evident and difficult to evaluate. When an area is flooded for several days, the soil oxygen gets depleted. Deficiency of soil oxygen inhibits growth and triggers injury in plants or flooded areas. Flooding results in soil erosion and loss of nutrients and organic matter available to plants. Water soluble nutrients get leached away and may get into groundwater. Changes in soil abiotic components alters the composition of soil microbial community. Plant growth is highly dependent on the nutrient cycling by organic matter decomposition. Flooding can lead to partial or total submergence of plants. Flood also affects river ecosystems. Riparian forests are ecotones. Riparian ecosystems, especially along the downstream areas, are more vulnerable to alterations in biogeochemical processes necessary for nutrient availability. Anoxic environments rich in organic matter will lead to denitrification of soil. The buildup of phytotoxins in plants as well as soil are harmful for riparian plant species. Introduction to alien fish species to local freshwater habitats is another threat related to extreme floods. After 2018 flood in Kerala, researchers have found the presence of alien fishes such as Arapaima gigas, and alligator gar, Atractostes spatula in four rivers of Kerala, namely Periyar, Muvattupuzha, Kurumali, and Chalakudi. These are believed to escape from aquaculture facilities in Kerala where illegal farming of these fishes occurs. These alien fishes are significant threats to local species. Now, let's move to drought. Drought is a prolonged dry period in a natural climate cycle. It is a slow onset disaster resulting from scarcity. Droughts lead to drinking water and food shortage and can have long term environmental, economic, and health impacts. Droughts are classified into four types based on their impacts. First, meteorological drought. It is the simple absence of rainfall or fallen rainfall rate below the normal. Second, hydrological drought. It occurs when the meteorological drought continues for prolonged period of time. Next, agricultural drought. It is caused by extended period of hydrological drought leading to crop failures and sharp reduction in agricultural productivity. And the last, socio-economic drought. It occurs when demand for economic goods exceeds production and supply as a result of prolonged periods of deficit in water supply. Now, let's take a look on impact of drought on ecosystems. Terrestrial ecosystems get severely affected by intense drought. Plants need a large amount of water for their physiological activities. Drought can cause nutrient deficiencies since the moisture content of soil is reduced and solubility of nutrients is reduced. Droughts increase the frequency and intensity of wildfires, which leads to great biodiversity loss. Droughts will lead to decreased water levels in ponds, reservoirs, lakes, and rivers. It also affects water quality because flow of water is decreased, which results in accumulation of pollutants. Recurring droughts tends to deplete the groundwater table. Next is earthquakes. Earthquakes are caused by sudden tectonic movements in the Earth's crust. The plate tectonic movements over an area tend to accumulate pressure within the plates to reach the maximum tolerable limit of rocks and then break along a fault plane and releases the energy as seismic waves in Earth's crust. The two sides of a non-vertical fault are known as hanging wall and foot wall. The intensity of earthquake is measured in Richter scale using the instrument seismometer. The energy released during an earthquake is closely related to its destruction power. Earthquakes are classified based on their destructive power. An earthquake of magnitude an earthquake of magnitude 2 is the smallest quake normally felt by people, while quakes of 6 or above on Richter scale are commonly considered massive. Among the biggest quakes that occurred in the past in Alaska in 1964 and in Indonesia in 2004 were marked 9 or above on Richter scale. Now let's take a look on impact of earthquake on ecosystem. The destructiveness of an earthquake depends on many factors. The impacts may broadly be classified into direct impacts and indirect impacts. Direct impacts of earthquakes refer to physical or structural impact. Subsidence. It is a major impact on the geomorphology of the area. Uplift. The opposite of subsidence is known as uplift, which is rise of earth surface. Subsidence. It is a major impact on geomorphology of the area. It is the movement of the earth's surface from a higher to a low level. Uplift. The opposite of subsidence is known as uplift, which is the rise of earth's surface. Surface faulting is the displacement that reaches the earth's surface during slip along a fault. Liquefaction of soil is the process in which saturated, partially saturated, and cohesionless soils lose strength and stiffness in response to ground shaking at the time of earthquakes. Tsunamis. Tsunamis can occur as a result of earthquakes. Landslides. Single or multiple landslides can be triggered by earthquake. Now, indirect impacts of earthquake. Pollution. Leakage of harmful chemicals and pollutants into the environment from damaged factories during earthquake is a major environmental concern. Radioactive pollution by disruption of nuclear power plants in earthquake causes serious environmental effects. Air pollution caused by collapsing of buildings is also a concern. Fires. Fires could be induced by the breach of gas pipelines and fuel storage system in industries. This causes serious direct damage to the environment as well as indirect effects like pollution. Next is cyclones. Cyclone is a large rotating air mass around a strong center of low atmospheric pressure. Cyclones are characterized by inward spiraling winds that rotate around a zone of low pressure. The rotation is clockwise in southern hemisphere and anti-clockwise in northern hemisphere. The coastline along the Bay of Bengal is the most cyclone-prone region of the world. The government of India has initiated the National Cyclone Risk Mitigation the Government of India has initiated the National Cyclone Risk Mitigation Project NCRMP to address the cyclone risks in country. Cyclones are known by different names in different parts of the world. They are known as typhoons in the Asian region and Pacific Ocean, hurricanes in North Atlantic and Caribbean basins, tornadoes in the Guinea lands of West Africa and southern USA, willies in northwestern Australia, and tropical cyclones in the Indian Ocean. A tornado is a violently rotating column of air in contact with the ground. Cyclogenesis. Cyclogenesis refers to the formation of cyclones. In general, tropical cyclogenesis requires an area of warm sea surface water with a thermocline of 26 degrees Celsius or higher, coinciding low atmospheric pressure, a disturbed atmosphere with large cloud mass, embedded rain bands and thunderstorms, absence or of minimal upper wind shear, steering winds generally from the east, and relative humidity of 80% in the tropical atmosphere. Now, let's take a look on impact of cyclones on ecosystems. Cyclones can erode soil and thereby damage vegetation in an ecosystem. Storm churn occurs when cyclone winds churn up cold water when it passes across ocean. High waves and storm during cyclone erode shell deposits, break of coral from near shore reefs and deposits this detritus over land. Severe tropical cyclones defoliate tropical forest canopy, uproot large trees and damage vines and epiphytes. Cyclonic disturbances tend to accelerate exotic plant inventions. Cyclonic disturbances tend to accelerate exotic plant invasions and decline in native plant diversity in some forests. Let's move to tsunamis. Tsunami is a series of huge ocean waves that can reach to a height of over 100 feet and then they fall on land. It can cause a massive destruction. It is caused by submarine earthquake, underwater or coastal landslide or volcanic eruption. About 80% of the tsunamis happen within the Pacific Ocean's ring of fire. The trough of tsunami reaches the shore first, which produces a vacuum effect causing retreating of seawater, exposing the harbor and seafloor. This is an important warning sign of tsunami, and the tsunami's crest will hit the shore within 5 minutes or so later. The tsunami that hit the coast of 14 countries and killed 230,000 people in December 2004 was resulted from a high intensity earthquake in the sea in Indonesia in the Sumatra Andaman Hill Range. The tsunami had devastating effects in Tamil Nadu and in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and along the Indian Ocean coast, including the western coast of Kerala. Now, let's take a look on impact of tsunamis on ecosystem. Tsunami waves are extremely powerful and the crest striking the land are often 33 to 100 feet tall. The initial wave of tsunami is extremely tall, but most of the damage is caused by the huge mass of water behind the initial front wave. They have an enormous impact on coastal ecosystem. Destruction is caused by two mechanisms, the smashing force of water and the draining power of receding waves. The floating debris can adversely affect corals and benthic life. Spilled harmful chemicals and oil can damage marine ecosystem and can lead to decrease in corals, algae, fish and marine invertebrates. And the last is volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruptions result from plate tectonic movements of earth crust that allow hot lava, volcanic ash and gases to escape the earth's surface. The thick flowing substance is called magma. Magma that has erupted is known as lava. Now, let's take a look on the common terms used in the description of volcanoes. First, crater. A volcanic crater is an approximately circular depression in the ground caused by volcanic activity. It is typically a bowl-shaped feature within which occurs a vent. Magma chamber. Reservoir of magma which feeds the main vent. Lava. Magma that has erupted is known as lava. Main vent. This is the channel through which magma travels to reach the Earth's surface. Parasitic cone. A secondary cone is fed by a magma chamber. Secondary vent. A secondary cone fed by a secondary vent. Some magma may escape through the side of volcano, particularly if the main vent becomes blocked. Now, let's take a look on impact of volcanoes on ecosystems. Volcanoes are widely considered as agents of destruction, but they are major contributors to development of Earth's geomorphological features. They have been contributing to the evolution of continents and ocean floor. Volcanic eruptions can be extremely damaging to the environment owing to the large quantity of toxic gases and ash ejected into the atmosphere. Many aerosols produced are known to react with ozone, causing its destruction. Volcanic ash and gases can sometimes reach the volcanic ash and gas volcanic ash and gases can sometimes reach the volcanic ash and gases can sometimes reach the stratosphere where they reflect the incoming solar radiation and absorb the outgoing land radiation, leading to the cooling of Earth's temperature. Volcanic eruptions can sometimes affect the river flow pattern. During volcanic eruption and lava flow, vegetation over a large area is destroyed. Animals from the lowest to the highest taxa are known to be affected. Volcanic eruptions can also affect bird migration, roosting, feeding activity, and flying ability. Aquatic life gets affected due to the change in acidity, turbidity, temperature, and food supply. These are the six natural factors which cause disruption in ecosystem. Now I am concluding my seminar. Thank you.